How do I keep my co-founder from stealing my idea? The biggest risk you face of someone stealing your idea isn't, as you might think, from investors. No. The biggest risk you face of your idea being stolen is from your co-founders. I should know. My two co-founders, Jim and John, stole the IP of my company all the way down to the pitch deck. Started a company with the exact same idea as mine. However, Jim and John's company failed to raise money, and my company succeeded in raising $12 million. I don't want you to go through what I went through with my co-founders. In today's video, I'll share with you the warning signs that you might have a bad co-founder, the steps you can take to prevent your co-founder from stealing your idea, and what you can do if your co-founder does steal your idea like Jim and John did. Plus, you'll definitely want to hear my one final thought segment at the end of today's video. It's worth it. Hi, I'm Brett. On my channel, I help early stage startup CEOs like you raise money and grow your startup. So, if this sounds like you, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time I release a new video. Let's get started. And let's start with, there's no bigger betrayal than a co-founder stealing your idea. You might think that investors are the biggest risk to stealing your idea. However, investors don't want to steal your idea. They want to make money investing in you and your idea. The real risk is your co-founders stealing your idea. I went through this, and I've worked with other CEOs that went through this as well. What makes it even worse is that a co-founder stealing your idea is the furthest thing from your mind when you're starting your company. You're just not expecting it. And now, your dream of startup success is in danger of ending before it starts. So let's start by looking at the steps to protect yourself before a co-founder joins your company. I didn't take any of these steps, and I wish I had. Step number 1, go slow to go fast. I was really lucky, or so I thought, when I ran into Jim one day when I was just starting my company. Jim and I had worked together for years, and I thought highly of him. I told Jim what I was up to, and he was interested in working with me on the project. I thought Jim would be great running marketing. However, we still needed a VP of engineering or CTO to fill out our founding team. Jim suggested adding John to the team. John was also from the same company, but I had never worked with him. Jim arranged for the three of us to meet for lunch. The meeting went well, but I wanted to check with people I could trust who knew John. I talked with two people I respected that knew John, including my mentor Zia, who had managed both Jim and John. Zia said adding John to the team would be great. He and the other person I talked to called John a guru-level engineer. I was sold and I added John to the team. But there were steps I missed in the process. I should have spent more time with John, one-on-one, before adding him to the team. During these conversations, I would have talked more about his vision for the company, his values, how he wanted to build his team, who he would bring with him. I was in a hurry, so I didn't take the time I should have vetting John. It would come back to bite me very quickly. This leads to the next thing I didn't do. Step number 2, have everyone sign a PIIA and NDA. I was so excited about adding John to the team because having a world-class VP of engineering or CTO is critical to raising funding and building any technology startup. The three of us met just about every day developing our plan. However, I didn't have Jim or John sign a proprietary information and inventions agreement, a PIIA, or non-disclosure agreement. Simply put, signing these agreements means that any confidential information any employee is privy to cannot be stolen by the employee. And it means that anything an employee invents is the property of the company, not the employee. I was leaving myself vulnerable and I didn't even know it. This leads to the third big thing I should have done. Number 3, have a long honeymoon period. Jim, John, and I worked well together for the first couple of months. As I said, I was in a hurry to raise money. So I started lining up investor meetings. It was at this point the differences started showing between John and me. John wanted to pursue a very narrow vision, and I wanted to pursue a much bigger vision. But start with the narrow vision. We began arguing all the time about what to do. In parallel, we continued meeting investors and raising money. That's when everything blew up. We were about to close our funding when Jim and John quit and stole the company's IP and started a competing company. Somehow I survived, rebuilt my team, and raised funding while Jim and John failed. This leads to the next thing I didn't do. Step number 4, have all co-founders sign employment contracts. John and Jim quit. If I had them sign an employment contract, the company and I would have been protected. Here's what's in a typical employment contract. Number 1, what are the job titles and responsibility? You want to clearly define each founder's role. Number 2, compensation, base salary, bonuses, and any equity details. Number 3, IP assignment. All work products, inventions, and ideas belong to the company. Number 4, confidentiality and non-disclosure. Protect company information. Number 5, the vesting schedule of all equity. You want that to be a long-term contribution to the company, and you want all equity to vest over time. Number 6, termination terms. Conditions under which the founder can be terminated. Number 7, non-compete and non-solicitation agreements. You want to protect the company post the departure of anybody, especially a founder. I get it if you're worried that your co-founders will not want to sign a contract. However, most founders will understand why this is necessary if you explain it correctly. And I can just about guarantee you and your co-founders that both of you will sign employment contracts as a condition of raising venture funding. Now, let's move on to the last step in our process. Step number 5, have departing co-founders sign post-departure IP clauses. You're going to have co-founders leave your company at some point. It's guaranteed. So, you want to have everyone sign PIIAs and NDAs when they join the company. Then, when a founder resigns, it's a good practice to have them sign specific documents and agreements to protect your company's interests and ensure a smooth transition. They may not want to sign it, and if they don't, they don't, but you want to try. Here are the key documents you should consider having them sign. Number 1, a resignation acknowledgement letter. This confirms the employee's decision to resign, their last working day, and any agreed upon notice period. It will include the resignation date and their last day, a statement acknowledging they resigned voluntarily, and reference to any post-employment obligations such as non-disclosures and non-compete clauses. Second, an exit interview separation agreement. This helps document the terms of the separation and gives the employee an opportunity to confirm they are leaving in good standing. It would include the summary of final pay, unused vacation time, and any other benefits due. Confirmation that company property has been returned such as laptops and key cards. Reiteration of ongoing confidentiality and IP obligations. Third, intellectual property and confidentiality reaffirmation. This one's really important for obvious reasons. This reminds the employee of their continued obligation to protect company IP and confidential information after leaving. This includes a statement reaffirming that any IP developed while employed belongs to the company. Reiteration of the non-disclosure agreement, NDA, they signed upon joining, if applicable. Any acknowledgement that they cannot take or use company trade secrets or proprietary information. Number 4, non-compete or non-solicitation reminder. The purpose here is to reiterate any non-compete or non-solicitation clauses in their original employment agreement, if applicable. This clarifies restrictions on working for competitors or soliciting company employees or customers for a specified period. Number 5, return of any company property agreement. This ensures all company-owned assets, documents, and intellectual property are returned. It includes a list of items the employee must return, such as laptops, phones, files, and access cards. Number 6, final pay and benefits summary. This documents the details of the employee's final paycheck, including unused vacation days and severance. It includes a breakdown of what they will receive, such as salary, bonuses, and paid time off payoff or payout. Now, if this content is resonating with you, then please hit the like button right now. One final thought. Learn from my mistakes. I learned a lot from my experience with Jim and John. I replaced Jim with Adolfo and John with Jeroen. Even though I knew them, I took my time every step of the way, making sure we were on the same page. Adolfo and Jeroen had qualities that Jim and John were missing. They were true believers in what we were trying to accomplish. They had integrity, and their vision matched mine. Yes, the precautions I took reduced the chances of my making a founder mistake, but they don't guarantee it. That's why you also want to take the steps to protect yourself just in case. We quickly started building our team, but as I said, I learned from my mistakes. We had everyone sign PIIAs and NDAs. Now, I have 2 more things for you today. First, my free startup pitch deck template. It has all the slides you need to develop an awesome pitch deck. Click the link below this video to download it for free. Second, join my free group of startup CEOs, Zero to Pitch. It's a community for startup CEOs focused on growing their companies and raising their funding. Click the link below to join. Final note, click the subscribe button to get notified every time I release a new video. I'm Brett at brettjfox.com. Thanks for watching today. Take care. Bye.